Well, hello, everybody. So glad you're with us here today on a rainy Thursday across our parts. Wherever you may be, it could be nice and sunny today. I hope that's the case, but it's Longshore McKnight. Barry back with us today. A
Yep.
little break yesterday. I know it was a very special event. Heck, I don't blame you. I'm looking forward to doing the same thing today.
Yep, and it probably comes sooner than you would think. Yeah, it was wonderful. Got to, with my schedule, you got to take those chances while you can. And yeah, you're right. We were coming back through Montgomery yesterday, heading back south to Troy. And I think we probably made it by about 20 minutes, which was the plan, to beat all the weather that came through. And I mean, man, it was rough. Right now out here in Troy, I haven't looked outside, but it's noisy out there, and it's been raining and everything. So this morning, still be careful out there. And big shout out to the Shane Baileys and Christopher Mathises and Josh Johnsons of the world out there. Back in the olden days, they tell me hey, I wonder if it's going to rain today, and you'd have a huge storm coming at you. And I wonder when it's going to stop. Now,
raining hard today.
Yeah, we can tell you whether, with all of the super comprehensive Doppler radar, there's a small system moving through Honoraville over there near Pineapple, south of Greenville. And back in the olden days, where these places were. Now you got to look at them, and you got to look at all of this stuff and everything. Just be careful out there today.
There are some communities and parts of the state of Alabama I've never heard of before.
And you've lived here your whole life. I'm the same way. Yeah. You've traveled around.
Huh.
It ain't like you've been sitting around in your house your whole life, or, just bebopping around the town and everything like that. You've been getting out. You've gone around and everything. You've been to places. Look, I've done high school football. I've done high school basketball. I've traveled all over the place. And I'd never heard of Lillian before.
Yeah, well,
John doesn't want anybody to know about it.
I don't want anybody to know about that.
Yeah, okay, so,
but just little communities, that they'll show on the map around Montgomery, and I'm going, where is that? I never heard of that before.
Yeah, there's a town just southwest of here. I don't know how to explain it on the map, except that it's on the TV screen when you look at Montgomery. It is called Freedom. There's a little town called Freedom southwest of here.
Never heard of it.
I mean, I've been to Marion, and I've been to Uniontown a lot, and I've been to Camden and all those kind of places, Ledohatchee. But, man, I'm talking about some tiny towns. Plattsburgh is nearby, and, So, hey, all of you guys, if you got internet in Plattsburgh, glad you're watching us here today.
Are.
Absolutely.
Tell everybody in Plattsburgh to hit that like and subscribe button while you're at it.
Yeah,
all three. Down there drinking coffee at the general store. Tell all about it.
Yeah, playing checkers.
Really appreciate that.
Certainly do.
So, Barry, I just got to tell you, yesterday, I kind of wish you would have been here, but we can certainly talk about it today because I don't know who the baseball coach at Alabama is, but I'm down on him. I mean, you lose to UAB, you lose to Troy. I mean, is this guy not catching any heat?
I got to give him props. His name is Rob Mathis. And no, hang on. I got Christopher Mathis on my mind. He's your weather guy at CBS 8, right?
His name's Rob. Weather guy. Yeah, Shane Butler's the chief meteorologist.
Yeah, but right now on the air is Christopher Mathis. He's one of those guys gets up like 3 a.m. Rob Vaughn is the name of the coach at Alabama, and
that's a guy from Major League. He was the pitcher.
No, that's Ricky Vaughn. That's Wild Thing. This is not Mo Vaughn. This is Rob Vaughn, head coach at Alabama, and I got to give him major props.
Come up with that guy's name
for 2 or 3 reasons. Number one, he will play the UABs and the Auburns and the Samfords, and
he might not have many more chances if the way it's been going.
Well, at least he does, and he'll play them home and away. All power to him. I mean, they came down to Troy, huge crowd and everything, and they lose to Troy. And, they split the series. Heck, Troy has beaten Georgia. Troy's beaten Maryland. Troy's beaten, Power 4 teams all over the place this year. I especially say so now because if John hasn't seen it, and I would bet my bottom dollar he hasn't. You look all over the landscape of college baseball right now in late May, you've got another week in the Sun Belt season before the tournament comes to Montgomery. Same thing with the SEC, and they go to Hoover and everything. And everybody's looking at RPI and, where's our ranking and what's our strength of schedule and what's our likelihood to get an automatic bid, because very few people in the SEC are worried about the tournament. I mean, there may be a couple that win the tournament or win a few games in the tournament to make it in, but Alabama's in, Auburn's in the NCAAs no matter what. But
I like the all championship these days.
You look around and everybody's looking at RPI. Okay, our RPI right now is 37. That's good, but man, for instance, and this one drives me crazy. It was last week or early this week. The University of Miami, the Hurricanes, they had a game scheduled against Bethune-Cookman. I may have said something about this. And they canceled. They put it on social media that their game at home against Bethune-Cookman has been canceled because the rain overnight left the field in a less than stellar condition.
Okay.
It's because they didn't put the tarp out. It's
on
like
purpose?
Exactly. It's like Bull Durham, where Crash Davis is rain out. I can get you a rain out. He turns the sprinklers on and everything. They go out drinking or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
Wait a minute.
Miami, I like this guy.
Because if they play and they beat Bethune-Cookman, they may get a bump, maybe a point in the RPI. But if they lose to Bethune-Cookman, oh my gosh, they'll drop 20 points and all this kind of stuff. And it's happening all over the place. North Carolina, I think Tuesday, canceled a game against somebody. Just canceled it. Says, we ain't playing you.
Right.
At least Rob Vaughn is playing games. Of course, Troy's RPI is pretty good. Troy's RPI is top 50. But this is why the chasm between the power fours and the mid-majors or the group of fives is getting wider and wider. Some of these schools are saying, I know we scheduled them. I know we have a contract. I know our word is our bond and all of that stuff, a handshake, gentleman's agreement or whatever. But sorry, we ain't playing you. Now, we can give you the excuse and everything, but you know why, and I ain't even going to apologize. You ain't coming.
Love it. Forgot to pull the tarp over the field. Great one. Love it. Oh, that's great. Beautiful.
Sorry about that.
When I take over for Greg Byrne, this is going to add to my list of things that I will eliminate or get done. Now, I think you already know what I'm eliminating. The cheesy little pep tunes that the band plays during at the football games.
Just like the Grinch. Done. These will be the first to go.
Southern Miss, never on the schedule. And hey, baseball coach, if you want to play these in-state schools, knock yourself out, but you better not lose to them.
Well, and you've got to have those games.
We'll go down there and play them. Okay, good. You better win. That's all I'm telling you.
For some reason, Auburn won't play Troy, home or away. It's been that. I don't get it. They haven't played in Troy in a long time. Alabama will play.
Is there some bad blood between the programs?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but there is that. The tournament is big. Did
a fight break out at the game Tuesday night?
No, there was no fight. There was no fight. Coach Vaughn and Coach Meade both used to coach in the Big Ten, so they've known each other for a long time. Good friends and all that. And a great game. Great game. I got a chance to, broadcast it like I do all the home games on ESPN Plus. Huge viewership. Thanks for that. And it does help. But at least they'll do it. No Rob Vaughn skepticism here. Now, if this was the NCAA basketball tournament, which is about to expand for some unknown reason.
I got the reason for you.
Well, it's the wrong thing to do. It's a little bit different because in basketball, you don't play non-conference games, hardly. You got the SEC, ACC Challenge or the SEC Big 12 or whatever. But by and large, you don't play non-conference games once your conference play starts. You get them all done before Christmas
Athletes
and all
in
that.
Action, North
Yeah.
Dakota State, those kind of games. Yeah.
Because if they did it now, at the end of the regular year, and Auburn is trying their best, ultimately unsuccessfully, as it turns out, to make the NCAA tournament, and they had a game against, a Troy, who won the Sun Belt Conference and had a great year and had a good RPI and everything. That might have boosted them over, but if Alabama had, Alabama, I can't say, because Alabama, all credit to them, because they're playing Troy in baseball, and a lot of people are cancer. If Alabama had a game against Tarleton State at the end of the year, and they knew, 76 teams, this game doesn't matter all that much, they might call that one off, now that we got a huge tournament. So
how do you call a basketball game off?
Same way you call
a leaky roof, air conditioning system went out.
Yeah, you can come up with whatever excuses that there is.
No plumbing in the locker rooms.
Miami didn't cancel that game against Bethune-Cookman because the rain rendered the field at less than stellar condition. The rain came, and the managers are driving to the stadium real quick, and they're going to try and put out the tarps and everything. Man, head coach says, whoa,
not so fast.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's good. It's because they don't gain anything by playing them, and but they lose a lot if they lost to them.
Somebody else, I don't know who coined that phrase 32 years ago, but I have a pretty good idea who it was. When people are arguing and wringing their hands and what's it, window licking or something else? Yeah. Going through all that. And someone said, you beat them. So what? You lose. The bottom's falling out. The sky's falling. What's going on here? How do you lose to a team like that? Coach gets ridiculed. Fans are in an uproar. But you beat them. So what? Supposed to beat them anyway. Heck, I didn't even go to the game. Could care less about that team. So I don't know who that person was. I don't know if he actually stated it that exact way. I would have to think it was somewhat similar to that. But I get it, and you're right. When we expand the college basketball, college football postseason, had a good friend of mine yesterday text me about it. He said, what the heck's going on with this? The dumbest thing. I don't want to see Tarleton State in the tournament. I said, you're not going to.
That's the thing.
Power 4 move. You're going to see more Power 4 teams in the basketball tournament and in the football playoff, because that's what the networks want.
Now, they won't tell you that. They'll talk about greater opportunities for the length and the breadth of the Division I landscape. They won't say that. They'll say this provides more opportunities for the student athletes to experience the postseason. Now, you got guys, CBS Sports, Matt Norlander did a good job. He interviewed college basketball coaches. It's going to happen. It's going to move to 76 teams. They just have to, rubber stamp it or whatever. And every one of the coaches, Mark Few from Gonzaga, Dan Hurley from UConn, John Calipari, Arkansas, they all say, man, we don't need this. The tournament is perfect. The tournament is perfect the way that it is. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? We keep trying to grow the sport. We're not growing the sport. We're growing the tournament because the regular season doesn't mean anything anymore. And Calipari, God bless him, I love him, he said, quote, if we are to expand, my hope is that at least half the spots we held are held for non-Power 4 teams. Yeah. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you, Tarleton State, this is your chance. Fairleigh Dickinson, come on in. Sure. Oklahoma A&M, this is your opportunity.
Of all people, you think Cal really means that? Of anybody to read between the lines, he's the guy.
He's old. He's on his way out.
That nose is growing as he's speaking.
And they're telling you this. They're telling all the ADs and all the presidents at these meetings, look, you want to be able to say that you made the tournament and, this. And when the tournament comes, boom, it'll be a number 15 SEC team, a number 14 SEC team, and the number 2 guys from the MAC or from, the Mountain West Conference. You can forget about it.
They're
selling you a bit of goods
on their heads right now, going, you guys are going to get in the tournament. Look, we're doing this all for you. And then it comes around, out of here. Go. We're done with you. Beautiful. Love it.
It's the same thing whenever somebody said, I'm more inclusive. We need to have a bigger playoff to give more people a chance. Some of you guys bought it. Some of you guys said, yeah, that sounds good. He didn't mean it for a nanosecond.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I'll admit it now. Hey, Barry, at the bottom of this hour, our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, going to join us. How about those Lady Aubs? 2 wins in the SEC tournament.
Yep, they're hot.
How about that?
Yep,
they're hot.
2 wins means they finally get into the same level as Alabama's been waiting since forever. In the tournament. So, Auburn softball, 2 wins in. Don't let could
they be the surprise team in the softball tournament this year?
Well, they already are, if you ask me, because they came in as a 14 seed. You kidding me?
They might. Could they make it to Sunday? That'd be awesome. Hey, before we go to break, Barry, let me tell you about what's going on out at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. They make it. They really make it. Earring Fest.
Ooh.
Earring Fest all of May. And, of course, it is Mother's Day on Sunday. So don't forget. Don't wake up Sunday morning and go, ooh. Uh-oh. Don't do it to yourself.
No.
Because Earring Fest all month long, and then Mother's Day on Sunday. Barry, 1-carat diamond stud earrings.
Oh, they're beautiful.
$249. $249, 1-carat diamond stud earrings. How about 14-carat pearl studs, just $99. That's right. Pearl studs, just $99. And the birthstone for the month of May is
that's a sapphire. No, emerald. It's the emerald. Yes.
That's
sapphire
right.
is my birthstone.
Cherished for its rich green hue and timeless symbolism of renewal, love, and prosperity, making it a captivating choice for elegant jewelry. The May birthstone is emerald, and they have them at Marguerite's during Earring Fest all month long. But don't forget about Mom on Sunday.
Yes.
That'll be a tough day if you do. I'm just letting you know it. Whoa.
And a terrific day if you remember something from Mom, from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. Those diamond studs, that's a great value.
Yeah.
Your sports studs continue on in a moment. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just 1 flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Drive away in a Ford F-150.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K. Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K runway run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM.
The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's over 11 grand offers 0% for 5 years. Encompasses 5 grand off only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers. New Ram, 16 grand off for 0% financing. And heavy duties, 13 grand off with Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here today on this Thursday. Reading some of the chats on our River Region Straw chat line. And, man, really appreciate everybody getting in with us, communicating, being a part of what we're doing here. A couple of them here that caught my attention, and I just thought I'd give you a little update. Is this Chris the Bammer? I get some of our...
We need to figure out our settings to where we actually can put their names.
Because I know they come up with some different names, but I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right guy.
All right, throw it up there and let's see.
Theoda says, talking about some of our former participants on our show. Rusty was great, the realist, the shadow. Rusty, I spoke to Rusty about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Rusty's had some health issues, but he's feeling good, doing, at the time, going through some stuff. I haven't seen the realist in years. Haven't heard from him. I believe he's over in Auburn.
Oh, I've spoken to the realist. It was back during football season.
Yeah.
He's very active over in Auburn these days.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I'm not sure the shadow's with us.
I don't know if he is.
I do not know that.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorites. I hope he's doing okay, but I can't tell you for sure.
Yeah.
If he is or not. Just a few of the many characters and contributors we've had throughout the years. And we appreciate people bringing them up to our attention.
Yes.
Here's another thing that bugs me. Look, I never was a journalism major.
You took that class your freshman year, right?
Did. And I really don't. And maybe I guess you've got to quote someone exactly how they
say it,
express themselves, how they say it. Is there not some unwritten rule that maybe you could just kind of tweak it a little bit? Because I've seen this over and over and over for years. There's an article.
Right.
I really don't want to say where I saw this.
Oh.
It was at AL.com. It's about a Cleveland Brown player. It was drafted. Justin Jefferson played at Alabama. I don't remember much that he did at Alabama. Maybe I should.
Nah, he didn't win a natty. Well, maybe he did.
Who knows? I don't really know much about him. But I just wonder when someone is interviewing or writing a story about a particular person, and that person, I mean, it did come out of his mouth, makes a statement like, I never shy away from beating up on nobody.
Yes.
That's not grammatically correct.
Oh.
Why would you not change that?
Because he didn't say it.
So as someone that is in an institution of higher learning expresses himself in that manner?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Well,
I mean, his English teacher's got to be going, wait a minute. Did I not do my job? I saw that today and I went, is this guy a college graduate? Did he go to college? I never shy away from beating up on nobody. That's not how you say it.
But he said it, he said it. That's now I do probably have a double standard because I do know that sometimes they clean up the profanity, and profanity is like air to a lot of these athletes. I have heard in my lifetime, and I don't use it myself because, it's a bad habit and all, but I have heard in my lifetime probably not as much profanity as a lot of other people who are in the business I'm in, but I've heard it a lot.
Yeah. So Barry,
coaches and all that.
You get up in the morning to use the bathroom at 2:30 and your big toe hits the corner of the bed.
Yeah.
You don't go, gee whiz, do you?
Oh man. Wow. That really hurt. Son of a gun.
More like mother.
Anyway. No, and some of those people, I don't think I do. I do get angry sometimes, but when you substitute words like fudge and sugar and God bless America instead of, whatever,
So, Barry, I hadn't thought about it that way, though, but that's a good point. If I'm being interviewed and I call somebody an SOB or an MF, they're not going to print that.
Well, nowadays, a lot of times, now a lot of days, I mean, you'll see that creeps into print. They'll let stuff like that go on camera sometimes.
Yeah. Well, they do it on Fox News too. Boy, Greg Gutfeld. Woo.
Yeah.
He goes at it on the 5. I love it.
They do it. They allow it from certain retired football coaches on College Game Day on the set. They let that ride sometimes. But I remember is there a double standard here? Because I remember over on the chat line.
Yeah.
At the NFL draft, there is, any way you want to measure it, a terrific young man from Auburn, great guy named Keldrick Falk, who got drafted in the first round, pretty good. First Auburn player drafted. Everybody knew he got drafted, and they had an interview with him.
Okay.
And our boys over here the next day, terrific kid. They were giving him a little bit of a hard time about his grammatical usage and all that kind of stuff. You can't clean it up there as well. I got a story about that I'm going to tell later on when we have a little more time. But, I mean, if he said it that way, then that's the way it doesn't need to be like I waxed the dude. You don't need to do that. I waxed the dude. I waxed the dude, not I waxed D-A dude, and all that kind of stuff. You need to, at least spell it correctly and not the usage that he intends. But hey, if he said it, he said it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. And I've read quotes for years similar to that. And I've never really thought about using salty language and they have to maybe omit it.
Yeah.
Or switch it up. But there again, he said it. So shouldn't you quote it as he said it? But I'm just, I got to think, it's not, look, I had to work a little bit to get into college, had to kind of, massage a few things and get some things done before they let me in. But I knew how to speak. And I'm thinking, I never made a statement like that before. And if I'd have written a paper in English 101, or if Gurn Sr. had written it, hey, man, make sure you don't use this kind of line in here. I never shy away from beating up on nobody. That's going to get you an F. That ain't going to get you a good grade.
I'll tell you my story real quick. Tuesday, one of my favorite young broadcasters, and he's not young, he's married with child, Roger Hoover.
Yeah.
Great guy. Works for the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Really good, promising young broadcaster. He's got a great future and a fine guy. He and I were talking as he was, he was in Troy, just setting up and everything. And he and I were talking as he was doing it, welcoming into Troy. And I told him how much I enjoy the interviews that he does. The TV podcasts available. Shout out to rolltide.com. You can go there and on the Alabama social media and check out. It's sponsored by somebody. Can't think of it right at the moment. Probably wouldn't say if I did. And he'll have, some of the coaches every once in a while. Mostly it's the players. And I said, I really like those. They have a little studio inside the stadium, John, dedicated for just podcasts. They got a camera and microphones like we do. And I said, those are really good. Roger, I said, how much? Because I do podcasts for Troy and, you have to schedule them and all that. He says, no, they just bring them to me. He said, those are NIL podcasts. And, the players are great. They just, hey, be there at 2:00. We've got Ryan Coleman Williams and he'll do something at 2:00, Ryan Coleman Williams, and he'll mention a sponsor or whatever and do that.
Yep.
I got to tell you, and I have some experience in this as well. A lot of times the players talk a little differently on the camera than they do with the fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Chilling back at the crib.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And
Barry, I might even be guilty of that.
And we appreciate that. That's all John's asking for. I don't shy away from nobody. Yeah. Why not just say, I certainly do not shy away from anybody. I don't know that
Barry, I'm with you. When I'm around the fellas, I might say some things I won't say in front of the little lady.
But you're on the camera and all that. Anyway, you got to check that out. It's again, it's Roger Hoover out there. He says he does a segment.
Some of the jokes that I've heard or even told, I'm going to tell the preacher after church on Sunday. Hey, did you hear the one about?
So if John has to clean it up whenever he knows he's on record, why shouldn't everybody else?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, lots to get to with Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com. He's next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. So glad you're with us here. About 26 minutes to the top of the hour. Our friend Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, joining us as he does on Thursdays. Jason, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I'm good, guys. How about y'all?
Doing well. Thank you for being with us here today. First of all, a couple of things that you have put up lately on the website. What's the story with Auburn softball? I didn't see this little mini run through the first 2 days in the tournament. What's been the story there?
Yeah, really interesting. I mean, first off, when you hit home runs and score runs. It sure does help, and they've done that here lately, and they did that early in the season too. But I wrote a column this morning going, look, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bruce Pearl's first team that made a run in the SEC tournament, and you go, okay, it catches your eye a little bit. And listen, they got to beat Florida today to do 3 in a row. And if they do that, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament, I would believe, because their RPI is going to be really high if they were to do that. But it just kind of feels like, okay, this is the step, because last year was like, okay, you come in, you try to put together a roster. Now you've got some young players that you've recruited, and you look and they got some freshmen swinging the bat, sophomores. I mean, like the bulk of this team is freshmen, sophomores. So, it feels like they're okay. This is the start of something a little bit here. And I think like you can do it two ways now. Can you go out and be Texas Tech and just go sign the best transfer in the country every year and spend a bunch of money? Or you can go, look, we're just going to have to do it this way. And it feels like they're on the right track anyway. And this is kind of maybe the start of something. We'll see. And we won't know till next year and the year after, but it sure feels like that.
And of course, the baseball team, man, really, we were talking about it earlier this week. What was it, 6 weeks or so ago? There was a lot of, wow, what's going on around here? But man, they certainly have got the bats have woken up. The pitching's really good.
Yeah,
team's playing well.
Yeah, they're playing really well, and you look up and you go, man, you're 14-10, and you feel really good, but you still got 6 games left, and you're only about 2 games out of 10th place in this league, and that's the world you live in right now in the Southeastern Conference in baseball and softball especially. But we're even seeing it in football and basketball too, where it felt like there wasn't a whole lot of difference in football between 1 and 7 or 8 on a given day, and it sure feels that way in baseball too. But they're playing well, and like the difficulty of this schedule now is now it starts to feel like, especially this week for Auburn, it feels like a Major League Baseball schedule. And are you prepared to deal with that? Because the rain delay last weekend was a huge blow, and I don't think people realize how difficult that makes it when you back up to Saturday to start a series, and then you turn around and start a series again on Thursday. So you're shorting guys 2 days, and Major League Baseball you pitch every 5 days, but you don't in college. In college you pitch every week, and so Jake Marciano will have to go tonight, 5 days later, and it's a 1 day short for Mississippi State, but look, they can really pitch it. You're going to Starkville, and there'll be 13,000, 14,000 people there. Another difficult weekend for this team for sure.
Well, you can add that to the fact that they had to play at Regents Park, Regents Field on Tuesday in front of a packed house against a good Casey Dunn UAB team. Yep. Obviously, you're not throwing your weekend guys and all that, but that's a crusher. And then, coming up on Tuesday, they go to Jacksonville State, and Jacksonville State's RPI is top 40 right now. So you add all that. A lot of people were asking me this. Troy beat Alabama on Tuesday. They were asking me about the non-conference stuff. Play in Jackson. A lot of schools around the country are canceling their non-conference games because of RPI, and they're coming up with different excuses. And John was coming up with some pretty good excuses on his own. Playing Jacksonville State, you get it because that's a good club. That's a good RPI get. Playing them in Jacksonville, though, that's not easy, especially with the schedule they've got, like that you just detailed.
Yeah, no. When you look and I mean, look, it's a guarantee now that Auburn's going to be one of the only few teams in the country without a quad 3 or quad 4 loss, because UAB's was still a quad 1 game because on the road, Jacksonville State will be a quad 1 game on the road. Obviously, Mississippi State and Georgia will both be quad 1 games. So you look at it and. You got 7 games left that are quad 1 games. And right now, Auburn's 12-11. So you play 23. You're going to play 30. You're going to play 30 quad 1 games this season in the regular season for Auburn. That means if you win a couple more, you're going to be in pretty good shape to be a regional host. I think 3-3 makes this Auburn team a national seed.
That's what I was about to ask.
That's
legit. That's a legit
Yeah,
hope.
I think 17 and 13 would make you a top 8 national seed. I think 16 to 14, without question, you host, and you might still host at 15 and 15 because of what you've done this season and the record you would have. But look, now I think they've done a good job, and it's important to keep doing it. They've done a good job of going, look, let's just worry about today, because that's all you can worry about is just today. And so they've done a good job of just taking it game by game. And they've won 5 straight series because of that. And so if they can keep doing that, then you'll look up at the end of the year and go, okay, let's see what the tally was and how you wind up. But obviously you're still playing for a lot. Like a top 4 seed gets you a double bye in the SEC tournament. But look, in the grand scheme of things, I know it doesn't sound right, but the SEC tournament is not what you're playing for. You're playing for trying to get to the College World Series and playing for a national championship eventually. That's the hope.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Jason. We were kind of talking a little bit about that earlier today, and I'm feeling the same thing is the case in basketball and football. You're
100%.
playing to get to the national playoff, not your conference playoff.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just thinking about it when they're talking about a potential for like a 24 team, football field, which I'm not in favor of. I think I don't like the buys, but what you're going to do is you keep expanding playoffs. And I'd already said, look, the SEC championship game, I don't care what Greg Sankey says. The SEC championship game is meaningless other than a money grab at this point, because both teams in an SEC championship game are going to be in the college football playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Other than going, hey, we won an SEC championship, there is no reason to be playing anybody that's of consequence in that game, in my opinion. For them to get hurt, it potentially cost you a playoff spot, not a playoff spot, but maybe a playoff win. So, yeah, baseball, we've seen it in basketball. I mean, look, Auburn twice has won an SEC tournament championship and went into it as a seed and came out of it the same seed. So it didn't impact them at all. The where it impacts you is if you're on the bubble. If you can go win 3 or 4 games, that's really the only impact it has at this point.
You're a golfer. You didn't write this story. Kristen Clemente did. The Auburn men's golf team, #1 seed in the country. They play in Athens in the regional. Another realistic shot. We're talking about the realistic shot for Auburn baseball to be a national seed. This is a really realistic shot for them to win a championship, Jason.
Yeah,
right?
you got 2 that don't get as much attention right now. Obviously, golf's gotten plenty of attention because of Jackson Cloven, and so and I think for people to a little peek behind the curtain, and golf is very different than most sports because you have to prepare a golf course to host a regional. So you cannot award. Well, if you're the #1 seed, you're going to host. It just doesn't work that way because you have to shut down golf courses. You got to do all those things in advance. So they're chosen years in advance to prepare for this. So that's why you're not hosting. You're the overall #1 seed. But look, they got a legit shot. Golf's very different now because, in my mind, if it wasn't match play, if this was a stroke play tournament all the way through like it used to be,
right,
then I would put Auburn as a pretty heavy favorite to win a national championship. But because there's match play involved, one day where you just play okay can be over with, and we saw that in the SEC tournament championship. So that makes it a really difficult championship to win because the consistency it takes to be good every day. And if you run into a team that gets hot, that's all it takes on one day in a match play scenario. So starts for them. There's no match play in regional play. You just go get through it. And you got to feel pretty good about the way this team's playing right now.
Boy, no kidding. Jason, this week we've been asking our guests something that Barry and I went through earlier in the week. We call it buy, sell, and hold. Kind of using the stock market analogy a little bit there. And we're taking every SEC football program. Who are you buying? Who are you selling? And who are you holding on to leading up to the 26th season?
Who in the Southeastern Conference right now?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's some teams that you go, they'll be pretty good. I mean, Alabama and Georgia are going to be pretty good. You just don't know how, is that 9-3 pretty good or is that 12-0 pretty good? Honestly, don't know. I don't know enough about anybody in this world nowadays to go, I'm absolutely buying them. I just don't. I don't know that there's anybody I could say, yep, I'm for sure buying that program. Other than the fact that I think, you know who those teams are. Is Ole Miss, you get some key guys back, but it's one thing to carry on the momentum you built from a season last year and win a playoff game and play good. It's another thing to now go, okay, well, it's your team. I just don't know what they're going to be like. I have no idea. Same thing with LSU. I just don't know. So yeah, it's
when I looked at it, Jason, I got Auburn, Florida, and Oklahoma are three teams that I'm buying because I think I'm getting them at a good price today. And I think by the end of the season, I'm going to have more value of those three programs. Ole Miss, I'm not so sure. I think they might have
probably
topped out.
cost you too much. Yeah. If that's how you're doing, I think they're probably, I agree. I think Oklahoma's a really interesting team because, John Mateer gets hurt against Auburn early last year. And it never felt like offensively they were the same after that, the entire season. You feel like they're going to be pretty good defensively. What do they look like in some other key areas? They're probably a team for me that feels like a sneaky one because they put some pieces together and it's really quiet. When you think about this league, I don't think anybody's talking about Oklahoma that I've heard. It's always Texas up top, and then you go, well, look at LSU and all the flashing lights over there, and look at Ole Miss, and obviously you got Alabama, Georgia. Oklahoma's just sitting there going, man, we're pretty good. So I do feel that. I think Auburn and Florida, you just feel like it feels like, obviously I'm on the outside of Florida, but it feels like it wound up being the right fit for both programs. Just we got one little inch of a mile to go. But it feels like it wound up being right for both programs, that it worked out that Alex Golesh is here and you get, and it might have worked out the other way both, but it feels like, man, it's kind of the right fit because Alex Golesh feels like the right fit for me early on at Auburn. But the way they're doing things, it feels a little bit old school. I don't know that would have fit at Florida, and maybe the fit at Florida right now would not have fit at Auburn. I don't know. But we'll see, and we'll get a glimpse of that this season. But, you think about like the other team, like Tennessee. I'm like, man, this is a big year for Tennessee because of this league and the pressure now that's on. You think about they get to that level and go, are you going to go up? Because what's the old saying is that you either go up or down. There's no staying put.
Nobody's staying put.
But I hate to pick on them, but I think Vanderbilt's topped out. I mean, I'm bailing on them. I think I made all my money with Vandy.
They get a big time quarterback, but you look last year and obviously Diego Pavia is a different animal altogether, personality wise, but on the field he was a dog, and the connection with the coaching staff. You get Eli, a great tight end. Knew the system inside and out. All those things are so valuable that you feel like, okay, how do you make the next step? Now, I think it's better than Vandy. It's this. They won't go back to being, in my opinion, they won't go back to being Vandy from 2002. But do I think they're a team that's going to go win 8 or 9 games? Probably not. And so I do think it's a little bit different scenario there.
We're between this subject now because last week you were telling us, and I had a couple people talk to me about your comments about Big Cat Weekend. I think one of the ones that lit a fire under people that was really good, and I thought it was right. You said last year they called it Big Cat, but it wasn't Big Cat under Freeze, and it's because of the calendar. Well, they changed the calendar. Big Cat's not until next week. And you talked about it a little bit last week, and we'll talk about it more next week. But Big Cat is next weekend, but the first official visitors aren't for what, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, a couple more weeks away.
So why Big Cat next week and not?
Yeah,
these are all unofficial, right?
Yeah, because there's no way to do it and have official visits at the same time, and then you get to camp. You get to camp season, and then it's July and it's dead. So this is kind of the time to kind of set the tone a little bit, maybe. So it sets the tone for for the next 2 or 3 weeks that you'll have where it'll be really busy. But and you also got to wait a little bit because, a lot of these kids now they'll finish some spring practices. So you get a chance to get them on campus. That's still going on right now. And, you're trying to, the spring football practice window for high school has been compressed to now 2.5 weeks because you wait till baseball season and track season's over with so you can have football so there's a couple of schools that are just 2 weeks. It's every day 2 weeks. You go Monday through Friday, 2 weeks, have a spring game, and it's over with. So you got a lot going on for these visits, and the guys got upcoming official visits. So you're just trying to fit it in, get in where you fit in, and that's that feels like that's where it is now for Big Cat because the calendar keeps changing because nobody would have ever envisioned that you look up and you would have 25 or 30 official visits before August. And that's now where most teams are going to be.
Wow.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It does. Jason Caldwell.
Ton of information today. We were all over the board. I love it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and I didn't even mention, we were talking about national championship contenders. Auburn's women's tennis is absolutely a national championship contending team. And they play at home Friday night. And look, that's a team that has a legit chance to go win a national championship too. So that'll be on campus here. Well, not on campus, but in town here at the Yarborough Tennis Center.
There you go.
Barry, I don't know if we've talked more about Auburn tennis. It's been since Jackie Bushman played, the Buckmaster played for Auburn.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Appreciate that note as well. Jason Caldwell, auburnundercover.com. How do people access it?
Yep. Check us out. Like I said, auburnundercover.com, part of the 24/7 network. And look, got a lot going on. We went to the basketball portal is closed, but it feels like Auburn's still trying to add a piece there. So got thoughts on that still going on. But football and football recruiting, but obviously baseball, softball, and gearing up for postseason, sports and golf and tennis and more. So come check us out.
There you go. Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You too, buddy. We'll talk next week. Jason Caldwell, man. Well, how about all that info, Barry? A lot of different topics in sports we profiled today. Always love that.
He's not, screaming and yelling and all that, although we don't mind that every once in a while. But he always brings up comments like last week when he was talking about Hugh Freeze. He said, last year, the Big Cat weekend, that, it's because of the calendar and, you had to, he said, it called it Big Cat, but it wasn't really Big Cat. And it wasn't. You didn't hear squat about
Barry,
it.
You got to have hay rides and pin the tail on the donkey to make it Big Cat.
You've got to have watermelon. You've got to have
Chihuahua State Park. Got to go out there.
All that
the
stuff.
old days.
But he's talking about softball. And of course, Bob from Pike Road, he wants to talk about one thing, and he's saying, "Why are we talking softball? It was a great, big, beautiful world out there." But he says, you look and you say, well, you can't, be like Texas Tech and go sign the number one player every year in softball because you got a softball sugar daddy and all that. You figure it's a better thing just to get them and develop them, which a lot of people have some success at. He says Auburn can't go out there and just buy that player. Well, Cynthia has checked in. Cynthia says, Jason, that is such a defeatist mindset. Hey, we're broke. So this is the way it has to be. We were told John Cohen was a master fundraiser. Wrong. That is from Cynthia. Number one, he ain't saying they're broke, but he's saying that, financially, they ain't competing with Texas Tech. They ain't competing with Oklahoma, who has, the national champion every year and all that. Yeah. It's not either, we're rolling in the dough where we're broke. There are shades there. And, master fundraiser. Look, if he can make up, Tennessee is spending $20 million on their basketball roster. They're recruiting great. If he can make up $10 million in basketball funding, hey, more power to him. If he can make up 10 to $15 million in football, NIL fundraising, hey.
Here's a couple of things that caught my attention.
Because it's a pretty good bit.
I think what he say? You just can't go out and buy a player.
The best player in the nation in softball every year.
Do you remember 2010?
Yes.
I I recall 180,000. Anyway, master fundraiser.
Yeah, you recall.
Cynthia, there's only been one master fundraiser, the late, great Patrick Fain Dye. Now, I don't know how much money he raised, but I was told he was a master fundraiser.
It's hard to say no to Pat Dye. Despite John going back so incredibly very long with these obscure references, Cynthia, that's a pretty good, I don't think it's a defeatist mindset. If Auburn goes out and they sign a girl for $2 million, they may get her.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a bunch of high school second team all county players around them. So, it is better, I think, in that way. As far as being a master fundraiser, I don't know.
Hey, Barry, before we go to break, Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, are going to join us, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. I need a little help from our viewers and listeners. I was driving through the neighborhood the other day. I said, you know what? I'm going to drive through the old stomping grounds of my high school alma mater. So I pulled into the back gate of Jeff Davis, or whatever it's called now, and there is a huge construction project going on the practice fields where I bled and sweated and teared up and the whole thing during my 3 years at Jeff Davis. And I want to know what's going on. What are they doing to the practice field? I mean, there are bulldozers. There are big, huge construction pipes, concrete pipes, dirt pushed around everywhere. I got to know. So if anybody knows what they're doing to where we used to practice football at Jeff Davis, hit me up on the River Region Straw chat line. I want to know what's going on over there.
You mean JAG? Yeah. Take a look, everybody, over at JAG High School.
It'll always be Jeff Davis to me. I don't know what they're calling it today, but like I said a couple of years ago, they can spend all this money to change the names. If the test score is going to be any better, I don't think so.
Preston, you got to give him a little bit of credit there. He was painting a picture. Theotis, Plainsman Preston says, bled? Listen.
Let me tell you. I'm going across the middle, and my good friend Marvin Humphreys, who went on to play at Alabama, was number 37 at JD, the biggest badass strong safety I'd ever seen in my life, hit me in the chin when I didn't see it. I'm laying there on the field. The coaches walk over and go, oh, my God, what has this buffoon done now? And are you okay? Yeah, coach, I'm fine. Well, you're bleeding from your chin. Get over there, blah, blah. Some manager sticks a towel on it. They look at it and go, ooh, you got to get that sewed up. So, yes, I have bled on that field before. Sweated? Certainly.
Crying, a little bit. Somewhat.
Crying with laughter. Probably not crying with sadness.
Yes. So, by the way.
Yeah. So, just to let you know.
Yeah. So, there is that. By the way, somebody who bled a little bit more, sweated a little bit more on that field that something's happening to. John wants to know what's happening.
Yeah.
Congratulations. The Alabama Sports Hall of Fame gives out the Star Sullivan Achievement Award that recognizes a former collegiate quarterback that exhibits exemplary character and has made a significant contribution in his community. This upcoming year, the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame event, the 2026 Star Sullivan Achievement Award will be given to Mike Turk. It'll be this Saturday at their annual induction banquet. Former Troy quarterback, Troy Sports Hall of Famer, former Jeff Davis quarterback. You know it would take a guy like that to keep John off the playing field.
Barry, what took so long? I mean, Mike should have gotten this award years ago.
Yeah, he's made a significant, ever since he was in high school, he made a significant contribution.
Got that right.
To this community.
No
so big props to Mike Turk,
yes,
one of my
deserved.
favorites, very friend of
big
friend of the program too. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Hour number 2 coming up with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitcher's duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, going to hop on here with us in just a moment. Gives me an opportunity to tell you what our good friends at the Destin Connection Seafood Market are up to. Tider Insider subscribers, no need to drive all the way down to the coast to pick up live crawfish. Order yours today at the Destin Connection right here in Montgomery by calling 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Area code 334.
Right.
The price is down to $3.50 per pound. They also have all sizes of fresh shrimp as well at the Destin Connection Seafood Market here in Montgomery, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. The Destin Connection, the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf, arriving daily. That's another thing that bugs me, Barry. Who made the decision to go, okay, you got to put the area code in for every local call you make now? I mean, come on. Why are you making it harder? I want to make it easy. I don't want to put in three more numbers.
He's just saying that in a roundabout sort of fashion because there ain't no question he's got the Destin Connection on speed dial. He's got wife, kids, family,
local man,
and Destin Connection.
Oh yeah,
and me.
That's
on
right.
his speed dial. But yeah, this is along the same lines of, I don't love the fact that all these are streaming because I have to get out of this and move over to that. And that's 3 more clicks. That's now John has to go 334 before anything.
You know what really bugs me? If I don't have it already in my preset and I hit the number and it goes beep, boop, beep. And I go, oh.
334
again. Drives me insane. All right, our man Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, here with us today, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Hey, Rodney, hope you're doing well today.
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Boy, we got a lot of stuff to get to here. Especially with the 4 weeks coming up where you can have official visits coming up at the end of the month. We'll talk about that in a moment. But an intriguing quarterback pickup for the 2028 class. Rodney, tell us a little bit, first of all, what you know about Charles Scott.
He's another big guy. I mean, he's
big guy.
We talked about Elijah Haven being big, 6'5", 225 or 220, whatever. And then this kid, I mean, he's at least 6'5", 235, 240. There are some weights out there of him being 255. So he's a guy that, really big. And, he's got a strong arm, obviously. He's from Richmond, Virginia. And, he's put up good numbers, obviously. He's only a sophomore, as you mentioned, going into his junior year. Now, he is a little older, guys. He's like a 18-year-old kid going into his junior year. Huh. So it's not like
somebody like that. How about that?
Yeah. He's a little bit more. I think when you look at it and say, oh, okay, 6'5", 255, does that mean he's going to be 280 by the time he gets here? Well, probably not. I mean, again, just to be clear, he's a little bit older, so he's probably already more mature physically.
Right. Yeah, not only is he big in stature, but I mean, once again, another quarterback. I hate to be this guy, but I'm thinking, how you going to keep them all happy? I guess they know that. I mean, the staff knows it. I guess what they're hoping. Well, maybe 3 of these 4 will stick around.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's no doubt. I mean, the quarterbacks are going to be on the move. And first of all, let's see if he sticks. Right? Let's just see if he sticks to the commitment, because it's a long time.
Right.
But I just think you try to continue to recruit quarterbacks and get guys developed. And see what happens. That's really all you can do.
Mm-hmm. I also saw where a defensive back that had committed, 3-star, is decided to open his recruitment back up.
Are you talking about Nash Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was I mean, again, I think he's been looking at different schools. Auburn's been in there, and various ones have been recruiting him. I once he decommitted, I kind of just haven't really tracked what he's going to do next or whatever. But there's another thing, John. You talk about they have a lot of quarterbacks. Well, they have a lot of defensive backs, and they have a lot of corners, and they're recruiting a lot of corners. They're recruiting several that are highly rated. Whether you're talking about Hayden Stepp out of Las Vegas, there's a kid over in Georgia, Darius White, that they like a lot. So they're not going to be short of corners, just like they're not going to be short of tight ends, and they're not going to be short of quarterbacks. I think the one thing is, to me, and I know a lot of people say, well, you got a lot returning next year, supposedly, the way the roster is now. But I think offensive and defensive linemen, you want that to be a focus.
Well, you bring that up, and I go back to the TigerInsider.com coverage of, again, the end of this month is when official visits can get cranking up for this summer. And Tiger Insider is dead on it right now. And you mentioned, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of defensive backs. What about linemen? We got guys on our chat line that are hopeful that linemen are still a priority, Rodney.
Well, that was kind of, someone else put it out that offensive line is not a priority. To me, you always want to prioritize the trenches. Now, there's obviously 2 ways to do that. You recruit high school, or you get guys out of the portal, which they got several out of the portal on both sides of the ball this year. So that may be the route they take, depending on what the attrition is. And so we'll see. Now, I do know that Antonio Berry out of Tupelo is one of the top offensive linemen in the country. It's probably right now Alabama and Ole Miss. I did speak to one of my top Mississippi sources yesterday. And, again, I think, guys, it's like we talked about. His feeling based on the people there in Tupelo is that it's probably, if it's neck and neck, it may come down to an NIL offer. So, and if that happened, you'd probably favor Ole Miss there because they're willing to shell out, a little more, generally speaking. So, I mean, who knows? But that was the feeling, was that Antonio Berry, if it came down to neck and neck, that NIL could make the difference, and just speculation that maybe Ole Miss, but we'll see.
Rodney, you were talking. You just mentioned that you were talking to somebody, one of your sources over in Mississippi, and it reminded me of sections in your book about back in the day when there were long distance charges attached to phone calls. Our younger viewers probably don't know what I'm talking about, but you mentioned that several times in your book. You don't have to give us the dollar amount, but it certainly sounds like you ran up some pretty high long distance bills back in the day.
Honestly, John, Barry, listen, I was an addict. I mean, I could not stop making long distance calls living there in Corpus Christi, following Alabama. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, during the recruiting process, I'd call those 900 lines. I called Kirk McNair one time, and I knew Kirk because when I was in school at Alabama, I got to meet Kirk and I'd go to his office some. Right. But I called Kirk one time and I said, Kirk, I got some questions for you. And I really don't feel bad about calling you directly because I've kept you in business with that 900 line of yours.
Oh, boy. Awesome. I remember those guys, too. You go, hey, hit slot 4 to Tennessee, slot 5, Ole Miss, slot 6, Alabama.
The information's a lot easier and less expensive to get, particularly at TigerInsider.com. And the phone calls are a lot less expensive than they used to have to be. Let me ask you about one guy here in our local area in central Alabama. What's your estimation of how Alabama feels about Deshaun Hall, the wide receiver from Prattville?
I know he's obviously an outstanding player. I mean, he's got great size. I hear a lot of great things about him from people down there. Again, I know that he's supposed to visit. Okay. I expect him to visit. Again, I think he did come up here on an unofficial visit earlier in the spring, if I'm not mistaken. They brought in so many. Now, again, I don't know when he might come in. But I do think this, he is an outstanding player. There's no question about that. And he does have an official set. So we'll see what happens. They do have some guys, whether it's Monshawn Sales, Asani Gales. There's a couple of other guys that I know that they're in on at the wide receiver spot that they really like. Benny Easter's coming in. He's committed to Texas Tech. I'd be surprised if he flipped. And then Jaden Upshaw, I don't know if he's still coming in, but they have several that are committed to other schools that are coming in as well. So we'll see what happens. But again, I don't think this staff's going to have a real tough time bringing in or getting quality wide receivers.
Hey, Tiger Insider subscribers, no need to drive all the way down to the coast to pick up live crawfish. Order yours today at the Destin Connection right here in Montgomery by calling 288-4272. The price is down to $3.50 per pound. They also have all sizes of fresh shrimp to go into your boil. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road, 288-4272. Rodney, I'm talking to some folks over the last week or so. Wanted to get your thoughts, see if you're hearing anything in Tuscaloosa about it. The future of Aiden Holloway. I'm hearing there's a good chance he could be back in uniform for Nate Oates this fall.
Well, that would be interesting. I mean, it seems, if you're just on the outside looking in at the tea leaves, it kind of looks like it's trending in that direction, doesn't it, John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Barry. Yeah. It really does. So again, I haven't heard, 100% or anything like that, anything close to that, but it does seem like that's certainly a possibility that could happen. And, we'll see. I'd be reluctant to say much more than that, to be honest with you.
Understand.
Yeah, I was just curious if it was kind of a buzz around the cap.
Well, it's John. It's a great question because, it is. There is some kind of talk about people saying, "Hey, you think Holloway's coming back? Is this going to happen?" And it kind of seems to be trending in that direction.
Rodney, we talked with you, of course, every week, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. We talked to you last Thursday. On Friday, you put something up there that somebody was telling me about, and I normally look at it quite a bit, and I was looking at this. A look back at Alabama's national championship run of 1978. And the lead is what hooked me. And that's usually what happens when you're writing for a sports audience. The lead of this, John, is, quote, first, if you didn't experience the 70s, as much as I loved the Saban run, there was nothing quite like 1971 to 1979. You think I ain't going to read it with a lead like that? You think I'm just going to flip? No. And he brings up a couple of provocative points in this, John. He brings up so many memorable names from the 78 team. I'm still trying to figure. I know who Jimbo Bunch and Murray Legg, Rich Wingo, those guys. Hamilton, I'm not sure.
Wayne Hamilton.
Wayne
Listen,
Hamilton. Oh, yeah.
he
Hell
had-
of a player.
All right.
Hey, he had his coming out party, Barry, against USC in 1977 out in Los Angeles.
Right.
Yep.
And he was from Oklahoma, Florida.
I know. That's not a town. That's an exit.
Yeah.
It's the Oklahoma exit on the turnpike.
Yeah. He was a tremendous player, number 94. And he really kind of brought that defense together that year, I thought, but with his emergence as a pass rusher on the outside. And that defense came a long way in a hurry.
So I'm reading
Go
on
ahead.
a little bit. I appreciate that. I'm reading on a little bit. And it's all good stuff. And Rodney talks about 77 as a precursor to 78. John, he says, bottom line, Bama got screwed in 77.
Well, they did in 66 as well. And we can certainly reminisce about that later this summer. But you mentioned 71. I had my Johnny Musso number 22 jersey.
Yeah.
I'm running around the backyard thinking I'm the Italian stallion. Man, it was awesome. But here again, back to your book, Bigger Than Bama, the story you tell about getting a ticket, how you obtained the ticket to the Alabama Southern Cal game at Legion Field. I was at that game as well, Rodney. Of course, I didn't know you at the time. Charles White had a heck of a day, and Bama fans went home with their heads down. But I believe Southern Cal ended up losing the next week to Arizona State, which put Alabama back in a position for the national title, which they ended up winning, splitting with Southern Cal that year. But just how you obtained your ticket for that game and getting to Birmingham was fascinating.
You know, I was living in Corpus Christi, Texas, 17 years old at the time, about to turn 18. And I had, obsessed with Alabama football. My brother-in-law, my late brother-in-law now, he said, listen, when they were visiting in April from Houston, he said, listen, you get a couple of tickets to an Alabama game and we'll drive. We'll go up there to Birmingham or Tuscaloosa, wherever the game is. So I was either going to go to the Nebraska game, which was the opener, or the September 23rd game, 3 weeks later.
That's how you schedule non-conference games. Nebraska, Southern Cal, Notre Dame. Oh, man, the 70s were great.
So, John and Barry, the thing was, I was like, well, how can I get tickets from Alabama? They're probably already sold out. And so I wrote a letter to USC, and they sent me an order form, and I ordered 2 from USC. And not really thinking as a 17-year-old kid, it put me smack dab in the middle of their fans. So that wasn't easy during the game. But anyway, that said, we made the drive from. I flew to Houston. We drove from Houston on Friday and got there in Birmingham for the game, and it was a crazy event. I mean, it was surreal for me, and just seeing the players come out before the game, that was something I wasn't familiar with. That the players would come out in their suits and walk around the field, and I was seeing all these guys just I could reach over the fence and grab them. That's how close they were. So it was a tremendous experience for me. But I will say this just real quickly. I'll never forget this. You guys will probably remember CB radios.
Yeah.
CB radios were really popular at the time, like cell phones now almost.
Yeah.
And we leave right after the game and we're listening to the CB radio. And I mean, you talk about talk radio now. and Alabama fans calling and crying and complaining. That CB radio, it was lit up with fans. And I promise you, I did this, John and Barry. I broke into the conversation and I said, look, I got so tired of hearing the negativity. And I just said, guys, I guarantee you one thing. Alabama will bounce back and win the national championship this year. And of course, a few months later, the goal line stand happened and Alabama won the national championship. But anyway, yeah, that's part of the book.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. And of course, the next year they go out to Los Angeles. Barry Krause, I believe, with an interception on a attempted 2-point conversion by the Trojans and seal the win for the Crimson Tide in the LA Coliseum.
You know, that game, like I said, that was Wayne Hamilton's coming out party. Had a great game, and you're right. That was by the way, on that interception.
Yeah,
should have never happened. Rob Hurdle was sacked. He threw the ball from. Threw the ball from his knees, and had that been a completion for a 2-point conversion, you talking about Alabama being screwed. I mean, Wayne Hamilton sacked him, Barry. He's on his knees. Rob Hurdle's on his knees and just chunks the ball up in the end zone. And they didn't call it. So anyway, but that's a long time ago.
What was it, Pac-8 back then? Must have been Pac-8 refs.
Pac-8 or it might have been, I don't know if it was Pac-10 by then, but it was one of the two.
Yeah. Oh boy. Man, we could talk about this all day. This is outstanding. Love it. Man, glad you brought that up. Good stuff. A lot of those stories in the book, Bigger Than Bama, which we've talked a lot about, and we certainly suggest that you pick up a copy if you've not already done it and read it. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it, whether you're a Bama fan or not, just a football fan. A lot of great life stories as well in the book that you can certainly read and enjoy. That Southern Cal game that you went to in Birmingham, isn't that the first time you'd ever gotten close to Bear Bryant?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was, of course, I'd been watching him on TV for 10 years. And yes, my brother-in-law, I could still hear him saying it. He said, your hero's standing right in front of you. And I'm thinking, Jeff Rutledge, Tony Nathan, Dwight Stevenson, who's he talking about? And I'm looking there. And then all of a sudden he said, just look right in front of you. And how I didn't see that houndstooth hat was right in my face. I mean, it was right there. He was smoking a Chesterfield too, by the way.
Oh, heck yeah, he was.
And I was so close, I could have reached out and touched him. But I'll tell you another quick story that's in the book, John and Barry.
All right.
40 years later, 2018, I'm in the press box covering Alabama and Missouri here at Bryant-Denny. And look over my shoulder, and there is John Robinson, who was the head coach of that USC team.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to go over there and introduce myself to Coach Robinson. Yeah, and I wanted to tell him that, the first game I saw, Alabama's first Alabama game in person, was that game. And I asked him, I said, Coach, do you have anything? I'm sure you do. I mean, you dominated the game pretty much. Anything memorable about the game? He said, after the game, I'm walking out to shake Coach Bryant's hand at midfield. And I didn't put it exactly in the book as he said it because I didn't want to use the kind of language. But he said, the closer I got to Coach Bryant, the bigger he got. He said he was such a physically imposing, person. And he said people didn't really realize that. And how he goes, I was literally walking out to midfield, becoming intimidated.
Wow.
And he said, Coach Bryant looked at him and he goes, John, y'all just beat the blank out of us. And of course, Coach Robinson was kind of joking, but he said, I just shriveled up and I said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I'll never let it happen again. But it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny.
Real quick before we let you go, someone on the chat line wanted you to comment about the softball team. They got the double bye, the number 2 seed. What are your thoughts about Bama softball as they get into tournament play?
Well, I mean, personally, I've thought this team could be one of the best that he's had. I mean, the way they seem to be more well-rounded. They can hit the ball, that sometimes they go in a little drought where they don't score, but they find ways to win. The pitching's good. They've got a little more pop in that batting order. And that's that one thing that I thought Murphy was lacking. And now he's got a little more pop. And I think this is a really confident team. So whether or not they win the national championship, which is what every Alabama fan focuses on, I don't know. But I'll say this. I do think that this team can certainly challenge for that.
I don't disagree with that
down.
at all. The book, we've referenced it a couple of times, available on Amazon and at rodneyorr.com. It's called Bigger Than Bama. What about the website, TiderInsider.com? What's the access point there?
Well, you mentioned it, TiderInsider.com. It's only $48 a year, and you can get instant access with your credit card. If you prefer, there is an address there to send a check. Gives you all our premium information, and the package, of course, includes our community, our all sports forum. It's, we're Alabama fans. A lot of stuff happens there, guys. I mean, a lot of stuff. And listen, I'll say this just real quick. You talk about kind of things that happened in the past. Did you know that during the Mike Price fiasco, Sports Illustrated not only contacted me, but they reached out to one of my posters who kind of broke the story on Tider Insider and interviewed them.
Hey.
So that's kind of the way it goes on TiderInsider.com.
And I believe that's in the book as well, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of stories about the website and some of the subscribers and posters at TI. Folks, you got to be a subscriber. If you're not, I don't know what you're waiting on. Rodney, I know we tell you we're going to keep you 15 minutes, always 20 or 25. And we appreciate your time as always.
You're fine, guys. No, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Certainly do.
Talk with you again soon. Next week. Look forward to next week.
Okay, guys. Take care.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much, Rodney Orr. The Tider Insider brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. No need to drive down to the coast for your live crawfish. They've got them here in Montgomery at the Destin Connection, 3750 Norman Bridge Road, $3.50 per pound. Also have all sizes of fresh shrimp for you as well. 3750 Norman Bridge Road, or call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup. 288-4272. It is, wow, 26 minutes past the hour.
A little bit earlier than normal.
Love the
to be sure. Yeah, we were asking Rodney about the offensive line. He says they've gotten a lot of quarterbacks, they've targeted a lot of wide receivers, and I did have people say, "Well, what about the offensive line?" Tobias says the reason Alabama is taking so many quarterbacks is the new era we're in. They know guys will transfer, and portal quarterbacks are crazy expensive and want to start. Bob from Pike Road says, Smitty, the O-line development at Bama the last 2 years has been just sort of catastrophic, horrendous, embarrassing. DeBoer's tenure on the capstone relies on getting this monumentally better.
How do you think he really feels about that, Barry? I'm not sure we really know how Bob feels about that.
Yeah, he brings this up. He said,
wow.
Bama's offensive line development under DeBoer has turned an SEC championship O-line under Bryce Young to the worst Bama O-line in 100 years.
Whoa.
Ranked 170th in rushing, 196th in pass protection. Catastrophic. So Bob's saying it's not just his feeling, it's in the numbers too.
Yeah. Well, I got some numbers to share with you when you get back. We get back, unfortunately.
It is the Phantom's Daily Dog, and it's next, coming up. Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for 13 grand off. Broncos 12 grand off. Expeditions 10 grand off. And Bronco Sports 9 grand off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, 18 grand off. Super Duties, 2 grand under invoice. And Lightning, 16 grand off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Quickly, before we go to the Phantoms Daily Dogberry, it is Earring Fest going on right now at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. And also, don't forget, this Sunday is Mother's Day. You're going to wake up Sunday without a gift for mom? Whoo! You're talking about doghouse. You're talking about sofa. Whoo! Don't do it. Don't put yourself through it. Go to Marguerite's, pick up a nice gift for mom for this Mother's Day on Sunday. Of course, they're open 7 days a week. But Barry, during Earring Fest, the entire month of May, incredible deals on earrings at Marguerite's, like 1 carat diamond studs for $249. You heard me right. 1 carat diamond studs, $249. Big May special going on out at Marguerite's. How about pearl stud earrings for $99? They've got those available for you as well. And of course, May's birthstone is the emerald, cherished for its rich green hue and timeless symbolism of renewal, love, and prosperity, making it a captivating choice for elegant jewelry. They have it all. They make it. They really make it at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry on Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. There he goes. Yeah.
We are Longshore in McKnight. This is unofficially our 428th show. It says Blue Skies, which is a Willie Nelson tune, not an aphorism for the stuff that we send out here every day on a daily basis. But it is a couple of things real quick to get to. Number one, this is probably on the topic wheel. Ted Turner passed away yesterday.
Yeah, the mouth.
At the age of 87, part of our childhood. And I've, politically not aligned with him, but I love me some Ted Turner. 2 great tweets about it, with all due respect. Number one, somebody said, his funeral's got to start at 7:05.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Right? It ain't starting at like 6 or 4. It's got to start at 6:05 or 6:35 or something like that. Which was kind of funny. And somebody else points this out, more germane to, I don't know, our baseball conversation, our Braves conversation in Major League Baseball. Somebody said, Ted Turner, this is somebody who was tweeting from Montana. And he said, Ted Turner spent 20 years ensuring that this kid from Montana could watch the Braves every night. And Major League Baseball has spent the last 20 years ensuring that kids in Atlanta can't watch the Braves every night.
Yeah. I saw some billboard around town the other day for the Braves. I'm thinking, why is that guy wasting his money promoting Atlanta Braves baseball in Montgomery? I just do not get it.
I love the Braves. I love John Schuerholz. I love, all the success and everything. But the high point for the Braves was when Ted owned it.
Yeah.
He's sitting over there in the good seats by the on deck circle with Jane. Jimmy Carter and Rosalind there every once in a while.
Of the Atlanta Braves at one point in time. If you could list all the managers of the Atlanta Braves, don't forget Ted Turner. He had the manager suit on. He's in the dugout.
I think he did it for one game.
He couldn't do it.
He did it one game, maybe two, when he fired Dave Bristol, or right before he hired Dave Bristol. And Major League Baseball says, you're making a mockery of it. You can't do it. You've never.
Whoa. Any more mockery of the game? Though it already is a mockery. I mean,
then, John Longshore saying, I could manage the Braves. Give me a break.
I've said that many a time. That lineup that Bobby Cox had, give me a break. I feel pretty confident. But Ted Turner, he had a chain of restaurants as well. Ted's, Buffalo, but Ted's, what's the name of that place?
I have no idea.
It's a pretty good, it was pretty good. There's one in downtown Atlanta. I went during media days with a friend of mine years ago. Ted's Montana Grill, I believe is the name of the restaurant. Okay. And they had buffalo on the menu. I recall that. But, Ted was the guy. And a lot of our younger viewers and listeners, Barry, might be confused when you said 7:05. But back in the day, everything on WTBS, or maybe it was back when it was TCG,
the Super
started
Stage.
5 minutes past the hour.
And I remembered that, and I never could figure out, why do they do that? Why don't they start at the top of the hour like everything else does? That's the reason why. Because everything else does. Yep. I mean, you're looking and you're seeing another episode of Little House on the Prairie or whatever. I don't want to watch this. What else is on? Oh, hey, this is just starting.
Yeah.
Oh, great. 5 minutes. This is just, all right. I'll watch this. Hey, Beastmaster?
Unbelievable.
On the Superstation?
That was a great, I remember we had some radio consultant guy thought he knew everything. One of those, knuckleheads. He goes, you guys need to start at the top of the hour. I went, no, we don't. We've been starting at 5 past the hour since I've been doing radio. We go to the top of the hour news. We are, world sports on the ESPN or Westwood.
John wasn't listening, so he knew something was up there at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
He just didn't know what. John was just getting in.
Yeah. I was going to the bathroom and getting more coffee, which is really why I wanted the break at the top of the hour.
Yep.
Did a little local traffic, maybe news, hop back on 6-7 minutes past the hour. It was beautiful. This guy went, no, you got to start top of the hour. I went, for what? Why are we doing that? We've been doing this, that lasted about 3 months. I walked down to the end of the hall, walked into the suit's office. I said, come on, let's go back to 6 after the hour. He goes, is that what you want? I went, yeah.
Dang, yeah.
Done. Boom.
Yeah.
I miss that guy.
And take the Braves with you.
Us. Yeah. He was great. All right, I can't stall anymore, Barry. I know people out there
going,
we got this. You're stalling.
Yeah, we got this. Chris the Bammer says, so in honor of Ted, the Braves lost last night. No, that was not the Phantoms' daily dog. That was not it.
No. Did they lose that series against Seattle?
I think they did. I know they lost twice. Yeah.
Well, I don't see a lot of chirping on the message boards today.
Well, they're still, 7-3 in their last 10 games, which is second best record in the National League in the last 10.
This kind of sums it up last night, ladies and gentlemen. Tobias with Minnesota cover for me last night, but at least the Spurs put me out of misery early. I'm with you, Tobias.
Well, yeah.
Not the same thing.
Spurs lose in game 1 of the series in the West semifinals to the Timberwolves. They're playing at home, and the number was double digits, was it not?
It was 9.5.
Okay, 9.5
yeah.
Against the lowly Timberwolves. Well, the final score in that game, you don't have to go quarter by quarter, which John does sometime. It's like, rubbing salt in a wound. Spurs win the game by 38. It's true.
It's a fact.
133-95. And no, the number wasn't anywhere around 38.
Not even close. And I know, there again, it was Timberwolves coming off of a win, but the world's on San Antonio. We'll just take our chances with the points. Okay, it didn't work out for us last night. Those things can happen. And boy, did I see it on the chat line earlier today.
Goodness gracious. Ingrates.
So tonight, Barry, we're going to kind of take a similar philosophy.
All right.
We're going back to OKC, where the LA Lakers are taking on the Thunder for game 2 of their Western Conference semifinal. I believe these are the semis.
These are the Westerns. These are the Eastern and Western semifinals.
Yeah.
The finals come up next. The conference finals come up next.
The Lakers in the semis in the Western. Who would have thunk it? Huh. And they're catching 15.5 tonight.
What?
One point shy of what they were catching earlier in this week.
15.5 in the Western semifinals?
Yeah,
Luka Doncic, who LeBron, blah, blah, blah. Doncic is their best player. He still ain't cleared. He ain't going to play.
But you know, Barry,
my thing is
defense. You know, I don't know why they say Doncic is the best player. He plays 0 defense, even in the playoffs.
Well, it doesn't really bother him, it seems like. It doesn't really, okay, you just blew by me like I'm not even here. That's all right. Give me the ball. You know, I'm here to tell you, John is against that. He is against basketball players not interested in defense and only interested in, can you get me the ball so I can shoot it? That has been, contrary to John's personal basketball personality his entire life.
If my memory serves me correct, yes, it's a fact. I didn't play a lot of defense back in the day. But I do recall when the junior high city championship tournament took place. I don't know if it was at McIntyre, Bellingraph, or Goodwin. I forgot who hosted it my ninth grade year.
It was a long time ago.
It's been a while back. But I do recall stepping up my defensive play because there again, it was a tournament. It was a playoff. One and done. You got to keep winning. So I think the NBA, similar to that, the rest of the Laker team will pick up the slack.
Now,
might not win it. I'm not expecting them to, but I do expect a big effort out of the Lakers and LeBron. So I'm grabbing the 15.5 with the Lakers. I did it earlier this week. It bit me. I'm going to do it again because I think I got a good shot of covering the 15.5 tonight. So Lakers plus 15.5 at Oklahoma City. That's at 8:30 on Prime Video. You got to stream it tonight.
Yeah, both games, the East semis and the West semis are both on Prime Video. That's another thing about all that is they don't necessarily run together on Prime. You can watch one or the other on the thing because they give you that choice. So
And
there
they do.
is
You're right.
that, which is more irritating, and it's irritating to me, and I watch a ton of basketball. A guy who's just not interested in defense, and John's right about Doncic. It doesn't bother him because he does not care. He knows he doesn't get paid to play defense. MJ was like 7-time defensive player of the year in the NBA. Or guys, and I like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's the best player in the NBA. He's Canadian. His cousin plays for Troy. Javier Gilgeous Glasgow. But enough with the flopping. With the flopping. Gilgeous-Alexander, I mean, he didn't flop on defense. It's not like he's taking charges and falling over. If he's going up for a shot, he's got patented moves where he'll put a shot up and then he'll flail his arm or he'll kick out a leg like he got fouled and he'll head to the free throw line. He's a great player.
Yep.
But enough of that crap all the time. Colin Cowherd says like it's putting that lady, that Clara Peller lady who says, I've fallen and I can't get up. No, maybe she was the one who said, where's the beef? Remember that commercial? Yeah. I've fallen and I can't get up. Putting that right in the middle of Cirque du Soleil. The NBA has great athletes. When it's played well, it is beautiful. And then you got the best player in the world falling over like a soccer player every time. And you're like, I can't take this seriously. This guy's a buffoon. What's this buffoon done now?
Barry, there's an art to flopping.
You don't just, and drop down. There's got to be some nuance to it.
You're right. There again, you just got to know how to flop. And some people don't do a good job of it. You don't want to overact it. I mean, it's kind of like punters that overact a roughing, where they grabbing their knee and wailing around and pounding their fist on the turf like they're in some agonizing.
And then they look up. Oh, okay. Then they get up and they go run off the field.
Soccer guy that's over there has to get a stretcher and he's back in the game 2 minutes later. Yeah, there's an art to being able to flop. I don't have a problem with it. I probably flopped before flopping was a thing.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara Mandrell of the Y League. The idea is that you fall, and you try to get up. You're like, you don't lie there like you've been struck by lightning or something like that. Yeah. You're trying to get it. No, I'm good. Oh, the pain though. It's like the referee's like, oh wow.
One of the lost arts, Barry, is when somebody does elbow you, you got to act like it's, you made you lose your balance. You end up in the second row.
You're barrel rolling into the second row.
You're apologizing to the late. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Didn't mean to do that.
Are you okay? Are you all right?
Me over here. Yeah.
You saw that foul, didn't you, ma'am?
So, guys that go into the crowd a little, acting it a little bit. Those guys are tops of my list.
Yeah, because you fall into the cheerleaders. Number one, they smell great. You don't. Yep. Number two, the referee feels like, man, if I didn't call a foul there, I'm a misogynist. And you're looking at the referee like, you didn't call the foul on me. Call it for her. If you're not going to call it for me, call it for her behalf. Because look at her. She's having to pick up her pom-pom, fix her hair and everything. You're not going to call a foul on that?
I was
Do you hate women?
A little girl back in my junior high days, Barry, and I made a point to try to get fouled or pushed or some contact near the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So I could kind of fall out of bounds right by where they were and where she was. And, kind of got up slowly and looked at her and went, hey, can I call you later tonight? Things like that. I probably shouldn't have been thinking about that during a game time situation.
But you're young and you're thinking about that all the time.
Yeah. So you've known me a pretty long time. Was I more worried about her or the game? Her.
We're down 15 in the third quarter. I can't hit a shot to save my life. I'll take a shot here. Why not?
Yeah. So, and sometimes you'll see a guy kind of interact with the crowd or something like that. I wish I'd have done more of that. I like seeing that type of stuff. That makes it fun and enjoyable. But I'm telling you, sitting on the floor, you got to be paying attention. It's like a football game and you're on the sidelines. Don't be down there carrying on a conversation. Don't have your back to the action, because I've seen way too many people get rolled up on and break and twist an ankle and have to get the paramedics over there.
There's like YouTube videos with compilations of people getting trucked on the sidelines. You don't want to be in that video.
You are not being rude when somebody's talking to you, but you're not looking at them.
They understand. You're being sensible.
You're looking at the game, because if they're running that tall sweep your way, you better watch out.
When we come back, speaking of entertaining, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Man, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light?
I'm here, Bud Light.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here?
Oh, Bud Light there.
I missed that because of you.
You did not miss that play because of me.
Tough to stop talking this way?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got you, Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Drive away in a Ford F-150 or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Truck and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings May 29th and 30th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, back at it here. About 10 minutes to the top of the hour. I see the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel loosening up. Looks like 6 topics again today. It should be fun.
Yep, brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Here we go. 6 topics. John and I have no idea. None. No clue.
No
Bumpy?
clue.
Yeah, curious, George. More to the story.
Well, there's more to the story than this. Cam Newton. Huh?
More to the story. Oh, yeah. Tiger pitcher Framber Valdez, who's a little bit on the nut side. Red Sox shortstop Trevor Story. Valdez gave up back-to-back homers. He's down 8 in the game, and he hits Trevor Story. He said, "I did not expect to get suspended." He.
Oh, here we go. Boom. Oh, yeah.
Got him out of the game. You know, the Red Sox are ticked. They hit back-to-back homers off the guy. The guy gets hit. Back in the olden days, nobody would even bat an eyelash.
Yeah.
Now the Red Sox are coming up. Valdez gets thrown out. His manager gets thrown out. There's nothing. I mean, you look at this. John can tell.
Red Sox bullpen is about to enter.
John can tell. Ain't nothing going to happen.
More bullpen here. Love it. Guys are bored stiffless over there in the bullpen. What do you think they're doing in the bullpen? You talking about grab assing? I mean, you talking about they're over there telling story. Hey, check her out. Row 4. Huh? Bullpen. Unbelievable.
Wait a minute. I would listen to John on this. Normally, he's full of beans about baseball, but I would listen to him on this, because if anybody can speak to what you do when you're sitting on the sidelines trying to keep yourself entertained, it's this guy.
I'm your man.
Yeah, because he's lived it. All right, what else we got?
Let's spin away, see what's coming up next. Look at those colors. Beautiful wheel today. Beautiful. Most amazing wheel.
It's the same something new.
Something new.
College football playoff?
Could be.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama. He is 7'4". He's grabbing the net like he's, waiting in the plane train in that godforsaken airport in Atlanta. He's 7'4". He's athletic. He's got skills. He's from France. He's very, very, very smart. He may be, with, Steph Curry and LeBron James about to retire, maybe the new face of the NBA. The league's 4th top-selling jersey ahead of LeBron. But again, he's very smart, and he's outspoken as well. Wait a minute. Earlier in the season, the Wemby effect, he burst into tears with a dramatic comeback win over the Clippers. A big comeback, and he started crying. That's close to being the hardest game of my life. He refuses to carry the burdens of having to hide my emotions. I like that. that.
Barry, when I see players like that are in smaller markets, my first thought is, how long will it be before they're a Laker?
Yeah. It's not just in basketball either. It's, this guy's about to become a Cowboy. Or, wait a minute, this guy, he's going to the Yankees. That kind of a thing. But along those same lines for Wimbayana, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I've cried before over a sporting event. I was very young. But all those people who used to make fun of Tim Tebow because he cried when Florida got beat in the SEC championship game when they were number one in the country, I say crying's okay. There's nothing wrong with crying. Now, crying when you didn't get a foul call or crying because a fumbled tightrope down the sidelines, if you're a fan, I don't necessarily go for that, but it's human emotions, and we need to have more of that.
It
Good
is
for you,
human
Victor
emotion. You're
Wimbayana.
right about that.
All right.
All right, let's see what
Four to go.
Let's see what we got here. I'm in. Let's do it.
Bumpy sounds like that player that like that guy that Forrest Whitaker played in that movie. Curious George.
That was Lumpy. No, that was in Leave It to Beaver.
That was in Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Guy for the Nationals.
Yeah.
Don't know his first name. I don't know him. Going up to the top, Gurn, let's see. Who is this guy? Nacin Nunez. And his turtle named George. All right.
I had a cat named George.
Still do, don't you? Cat still
No, George passed away a while back. But the little lady still hadn't gotten over it.
Yeah, it's like Macho Grande. Let's see.
Oh, excuse me.
5 years ago, South Carolina ran into some snapping turtles in the backyard.
Yeah.
Wanted to keep one. I was crying and throwing it. So he and George is his pet. They eat lettuce and all that. It's easy, big and all that. So he called him George, but he's a turtle. George doesn't care about the owner. Turtles are bad pets.
They kind of are.
You can't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
I know somebody who has like a Gila monster for a pet. What do you do with them? You can't take them for a walk or throw the ball to them or anything. Turtles are just kind of there. I don't get it.
They're just kind of there. Just kind of there.
All right.
All right, 3 to go. Let's see what we got here on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel here.
John was so reading the text line right there.
Yeah.
He was not paying attention to the story about George. Real Daily Dog?
Oh.
DAWG. Oh, yeah. Brendan Sorsby for Texas Tech. I don't think he's going to play anymore. He was betting his behind off on his app. He's entered a rehabilitation for a gambling addiction. He has hired an attorney to help him retain his college eligibility. He will make more in college this year than he would in the NFL, even though he is a high-profile NFL draft pick. ESPN's Pete Thamel, this is the deal. Pete Thamel reported that Sorsby bet on an Indiana game during his freshman season as a Hoosiers quarterback. They might be inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt if you're betting on the second quarter line of a UFL game, but not on a game on a team you're playing on.
No.
That's what got Pete Rose, as a matter of fact.
It did. It sure did. And, I'm trying to find out, was this done through a local man, so to speak? Was it done on an unregulated gambling site from Panama, Costa Rica, Russia? Because regulated sites, red flags would have been going off everywhere.
That's what got Brad Bohannon, the Alabama baseball coach, is they were red flags because these gaming entities, the gaming commission, said, "Hey, whoa, this guy doesn't normally bet at all, and he's betting this much on something that's a red flag."
This guy would have never gotten a debt that large. No way on a regulated
flight. Yeah, that makes sense too.
That
makes sense too. Yeah, he's in big trouble. I don't think he plays college football anymore, and that bet when he was at Indiana is probably the main reason why. Okay, 2 to go.
2 more to go. Red and blue are spinning away here on the topic wheel. Bumpy. It is bumpy. Bumpy cars, overrated.
Bumpy was the name.
Cars at the fair, overrated.
Oh, orphaned baby hippo.
Whoa.
Keepers at a Kenya sanctuary.
Wait a minute. It's got a pet hippo?
Yeah, okay. Look at Gurn with the little pet stuff.
That happens when that hippo, it gets to be about 2,000 pounds?
Yeah, you have to feed him like 7 cantaloupes a meal.
Yeah.
So Bumpy made it. The mom had left us for a while. So he's at, hippos deserve to be happy too, but I'm telling you, at some point,
they're buried. But that
bringing
hippo
up some
can't be
bills.
happy rolling around in that hay. Hippos like to be in the water.
That's right. They need to be cool, and they need to be wet. They don't need to be hanging around with a blanket on them.
Oh, yeah, a hippo cannot be like that. All right, one more to go. Got to spin it to make it official. It is the last panel, ladies and gentlemen, but we must spin it. So say the legal team here of Longshore and McKnight. And have you ever used a U-Haul before, Barry?
Listen, I've moved 14 times since before I even got to be like out of college or whatever.
Yeah.
I've U-Haul quite a bit. Brian Kelly thinks Lane Kiffin could win a national championship with LSU.
You know, what kind of question is that, Barry? I mean, if we're having, hey, Brian, you think he's going to say no?
That guy's a bozo. Why they ever got rid of me, I don't know. He said, I never thought I'd be able to pack a U-Haul and drive it. I've had to do that. And it's not hard. The driving takes a moment or two, but you got that figured out. He had to pack his own U-Haul. Lane, you would have had a lot of help. There's people all over Baton Rouge that would have been glad to help you pack that U-Haul.
They'd have done that in a minute.
I think he could win a national championship at LSU, but I'm with Jason Caldwell. All the bright lights, all the bells and whistles and stuff at LSU.
Yep.
Let's see what Lane can do with the resources he's going to get. I'd have to see it first.
I'm a big fan of that. Got to see it to believe it. Don't tell me, show me.
Well, we're going to see the showroom tomorrow at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville on the show.
Correct. We will be in Prattville tomorrow. The preferred community, they call it, Stivers CDJR. Love for you to drop by as well. A lot going on tomorrow as well on the show, so make sure you check us out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell all your family and friends. We greatly appreciate it. YellowHammerNews.com. You can check us out there as well. Yellowhammer News Facebook page.
Yep.
A lot of people check us out that way.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.